electric field due to two infinite parallel sheets of charges. So we have already seen how to find the electric field because of infinite parallel sheet of charge. Now we are going to see how to find the electric field at certain places because of two sheets. Okay, so we have two sheets which are placed like this. Okay, so the two sheets are like this, and we are going to find the electric field at certain points. So please imagine those two sheets are like this. Okay, and this is the point P1, this point is P2, and this point is P3. So now we are assuming for the first case that positive charges are distributed over the surface. So these are the positive charges that is distributed over this surface. If we take, this is the case, let us suppose, let us assume this as the sheet 1. Then to the left of sheet 1 we can see positive charges, they they conduct the electric field lines outwards. So to the left of the sheet, the electric field lines because of these positive charges will be away from it, that is towards this, towards left. Okay, it will be away from the charges. If we take the point at the right side of the sheet, then because of these positive charges, what will be the electric field at the right side? Then it will be away from the plane sheet, that is away from the charges, that will be, it is towards right. So please try to understand that. Now let us see. So we have a sheet 1 and here we have sheet 2. So we are considering a point P1 which is towards the left of sheet 1 and sheet 2. Okay, so which is towards the left of sheet 1 and sheet 2. Now sigma 1 and sigma 2 are the surface charge densities of sigma, that is plane sheet 1 and 2. Please keep that in mind. Now let us see case for point P1. So if we take P1, it is lying towards the left of both the sheets. So we have to consider the left side. Because of this plane sheet, as this point is located towards the left side of this plane sheet, what will be the direction of the electric field lines because of sigma 1? That is towards left. Okay, because you are considering the left side. Now what will be the electric field lines because of sigma 2? Again this point is towards the left of sigma 2. So the electric field lines because of sigma 2 will also be in the left side only. So the point P1 because of sigma 1 and sigma 2, that is because of these two plane sheets, the electric field lines is towards left side. So please note that. Now let us see for case of point P2. So this point P2 is located towards the right of sigma 1, or towards the right of the sheet 1 and towards the left of the sheet 2. So it is located towards the right of the sheet 1, towards the right side. That means the electric field lines because of the sheet 1, it will be away from the charges. It will be directed away from the charges. So at this point it should be directed away from the charges. Because it is positive charge, it will be directed like that. So what will be the direction of electric field because of the sheet 1? It will be like this. Okay, because it is directed away from the charges. Okay, these are the charges here. So this is the point where we are finding the electric field. So the direction of electric field will be towards the right side or away from the charges. Similarly, if we take for sigma 2, because of the charges in the sheet 2, this point is located towards the left of this sheet 2. So again the electric field lines, how it will be directed? Away from the charges, away from these charges. So what will be the direction of electric field? So it is towards left. Okay, so E2 is towards left. Now if we take point P3, then what will be the case? The P3 is located towards the right side of sheet 1 and sheet 2. So it is located with respect to both the sheets, it is located towards the right side only. So because of sheet 1, what will be the electric field on point P3? It will be away from the charges. So these are the charges. So it will be away from it. So it is like this. So because of sigma 2, that is sheet 2, what will be the direction of electric field? Again these are positive charges. So the direction of electric field will be towards right side only. That is because it will be away from the charges, because positive charges conduct the electric field radially outward. So if it is a point charge, it is radially outward. As it is a plane sheet of charge, so in this direction it will be, electric fields will be like this, and in the towards the left it will be like this. So that is what we have to know. Now let us see what is the E1. E1 is sigma by 2 epsilon naught. That is, we have seen the formula. Electric field because of sheet 1 is sigma by 2 epsilon naught, and electric field because of E2, that is sheet 2 is sigma by 2 epsilon naught. So this is sigma 1, this is sigma 2. This is away from S1, this is away from S2. Yes, because these are positive charges, so the electric field lines will be away from them. This point I have already discussed in the previous case. Now let us see the actual value of electric fields at point P1, P2 and P3. So if we take point P1, then both the electric fields are in the same direction, that is towards left. So we have to add them, E1 plus E2. What is E1? It is sigma 1 by 2 epsilon naught. What is E2? It is sigma 2 by 2 epsilon naught. So just add it. That is the value of electric field at point P1. What is the direction? As both of the charges are positive charges, the electric field will be away from them. So the direction will be towards left. That is what I have shown. If we take at point P2, then sigma 1, that is electric field, because of 1 is directed towards right and because of 2 is directed towards left. So it will be opposite direction. So we have to subtract E1 minus E2. So it is not that it is E2 minus E1 or E1 minus E2. So which field is stronger, towards that field the net electric field will be there. Okay. So here it is sigma 1 by 2 epsilon naught minus sigma 2 by 2 epsilon naught. So as I told you, if E2 is stronger, if suppose this field is stronger, then the net field will be towards right, towards this side. If E1 is stronger, that is E1 is larger than E2, then the net field will be towards the right side. That is simple. Okay. If we take at point P3, that is at this point, there are E1 and E2, both are directed towards the same direction. So if they are in the same direction, we have to add them, that is sigma 1 by 2 epsilon naught plus sigma 2 by 2 epsilon naught. So that is the value of electric field at this point. Now let us see a special case if sigma 1 equals to sigma 2. So if sigma 1 equals to sigma 2, then at the point P2, what is the point P2, which was in between the two sheets of charges? Okay, and we have already seen it is E1 minus E2. Then it will be sigma 1 by 2 epsilon naught minus sigma 2 by 2 epsilon naught. This was what we have seen. If these two are equal, then what will be the field? That is 0, because sigma by 2 epsilon naught minus sigma by 2 epsilon naught will be 0. So at point P2, if sigma 1 equals to sigma 2, then the electric field is 0. Or what can we say? The point in between the sheets. So everywhere the electric field will be 0. If we take point P1 and P3, then the case is same only. It is E equals to E1 plus E2, that is sigma by 2 epsilon naught plus sigma by 2 epsilon naught, that is equals to sigma by epsilon naught. So if we take the point P1 and P3, the directions are same as that of previous case. There is no change in the direction. So please note this. Now let us consider another case. We have sigma 1, plane sheet 1 and plane sheet 2, and in this sheet 1, positive charges are distributed over, and in this sheet 2, negative charges are distributed over it. So what will be the direction of electric field and what will be the value of electric field? So if you take this plane sheet, that is because of the positive charges. So if suppose this is the plane sheet, then because of this, so because of these positive charges distributed in this sheet, the direction of electric field in this side will be towards the left. Okay, because it is away from them. And in this side, towards the right side of the sheet, it will be towards right, because the electric field will be directed away from the charges, because these are positive charges. And if we take the sheet 2, that is negative charges, so here negative charges are distributed over the plate. Now how will be the electric field, direction of electric field? So if you take a point on the left side, so if you take suppose this point, okay, if you take this point that is towards the left side, then as these are negative charges, the electric field lines will be towards them. So it will be towards them, towards the right side. So if you take the left side of the sheet, the electric field is towards them, towards the sheet or towards the right side, or whatever it is. If you take the right side of this sheet, if you take the right side of the negative sheet, then the electric field lines will be towards it, same towards the negative charged sheet, that is towards left. So that is what is the direction of electric field. Now, so if we take point P1, this is a positive charged sheet and this is negative charged sheet. So because of sigma 1, what will be the direction of electric field? That is away from the charges. So it is E1 is directed towards the left side. What about E2? Electric field because of plane sheet 2 is towards the right side, because the negative charges will have the electric field towards them. So E2 will be towards the plane sheet, that is negative sheet. So if this point P2 is located in between the sigma 1 and sigma 2, that is in between these two charge sheets, then what will be the direction of electric field in the right side of the plane sheet 1? It will be towards right. Why? Because positive charges will have the electric fields away from them. So E1 will be towards right. What about E2? That is because of sigma 2. So this point P2 with respect to sigma 2 is located on the left side of sigma 2. That is on the left side of the plane sheet 2. So what will be the direction of electric field? So in this point the electric field will be towards the negative charges. So these are the negative charges. So the electric field will be directed towards the negative charges. So E2 is also in this direction. What about this point? Actually, yes. This point, what about this point P3? Because of this point P3 is located on the right side of both sheets 1 and 2. So E1 is because of positive charges, and that will be directed away from the positive charges. These are the positive charges, so they are directed away from them. That is towards the right side. E2, what is the direction of E2? That is because of the negative charges. This point is located towards the right side of the plane sheet 2. So these charges, negative charges, will have the electric field towards them. So E2 will be directed towards the negative charges, so it is towards the left side. So this point and this point have assumed it as P dash. What is the electric field at the point P dash? It is E equals to E1 minus E2. Why? Because they are directed oppositely. So we have to subtract them. If we take at the point P2, that is the point which is at the center, the electric field will are because of these two sheets is in the same direction. So we have to add it. That is E1 plus E2. Then how you will get the direction? So here the direction is definitely towards the right side, because of positive charges the electric field is towards right, and because of the negative charges also the electric field is towards right. So it is for sure it is towards the right side. What about this point and this point? So we should know which electric field is stronger. Then depending upon that we can say the direction. Again, if in case the special case, that is sigma 1 equals to sigma 2, where these two sheets are having same amount of aerial charge density, then at this point and this point where electric fields are oppositely directed, we can find the net electric fields are 0. So at this point and at this point will be 0, but here there will be addition of sigma by epsilon naught and sigma by epsilon naught. Sorry, sigma by 2 epsilon naught and sigma by 2 epsilon naught. That will give you sigma by epsilon naught.